Hey there guys, this is Flamzeron, aka YouTube's Toske, and this is the Tales of Symphonia Final Thought video Remastered. To start off with, I'm gonna go ahead and apologize for the video quality. It's kind of weird. The same problems with the original. I think the problem is that I ripped the video from the best version of Symphonia for the PS2. Like, you know how there's greatest hits and player's choice in America? Well, in Japan they've got two. They've got the best and they've got mega hits. But yes, this is from the PS2 version, as you can probably tell. And there's not really anything I can do about it, so I figured, oh, fuck it. So sorry if you were expecting really nice... I mean, it's better looking than the original, I think, but it's just a little saturated and weird. I tried fixing it, but you know. Anyway, this is the first Tales game I ever played, so I kind of have a soft spot for it. But there is some problems with it. I actually kind of went through a phase where I was anti-Symphonia. Now I don't like it as much, but I do understand that, you know, it is a decent game. It's not really crappy. I actually recently talked about it on my podcast that I'm on, and got the extra dungeon that I never gotten before. Thought I missed it. Favorite character, probably Kratos, because he's cool. And he's got kind of auburnish hair. It's not really red, but he's always kind of been my favorite. Though when I first saw him from the beginning, I always thought, you know, he kind of looks like a bad guy. You know. And since this is from the PS2 version, we've got a little extra scene right here. As usual, anime cutscenes first and CGI afterwards. This wasn't in the GameCube version either. It looks kind of grainy, actually, the video quality. So it's kind of... It looks fine on my TV from what I remember. I don't know, but anyway... For the game itself, it was actually pretty, you know, fun. It blew my mind the first time I played it because I had never played a Tales game before. I wasn't really used to it at the time. I was actually expecting it to be a turn-based game, and so when I rented it from Blockbuster, I was almost kind of worried that, you know, I wouldn't like it and, you know, I wouldn't want to play it anymore. And it seems kind of crummy to take a game back right after, you know, getting it. But thankfully, it played very well. It was more of a... action-y game, and I really appreciated that. And although there are updates to the battle system which make it even better than usual, it was pretty good. Yeah. But, if you can't really tell, yes, I have played both the GameCube and the PS2 version. I finished the GameCube version. I haven't played through the entire version of PS2, but I do know, you know, I mean, obviously, for one thing, a language difference, and there's a slight graphic difference. I feel like the GameCube has smoother graphics. I think it's just capable of more powerful graphics, and it's also has a higher frame rate. Or it's capable of a higher frame rate. And I think the PS2 port of Symphonia wasn't really maximized very well, because it was actually a tad slower. I think it mainly was due to the fact that it was a port of a GameCube game. I think if it had came out on the PS2 originally, it would have been fine, either through, you know, optimizing it, or just because of the fact that we wouldn't have really anything to compare it to. But you know, this is also an anime scene that didn't show up in the original, the GameCube game. Got the little re-art thing going on. What else? I kind of lost my train of thought. I think I was talking about the differences between the ending. The differences. Frame rate. So the GameCube version is a tad slower. You know. That's kind of just my the way I see it. And some scenes were also redone. For example, when you first see Genus in the GameCube version, you see him from the front, so you get to see his face and whatnot, but in the PS2 version, you see him from the back. And of course, you know, being the Japanese version, the skits are voiced. Ever since, you know, I feel like Namco, I feel like the English localizations are kind of spoiling us a little bit, because I almost see that as a bit of a flaw in the previous localizations. The fact that the skits weren't voiced, it was rather annoying, if you ask me. But that's just the way I see them things. Other than that, I don't really like any, like, I mean, obviously, you know, there's more content, like the costumes, the extra scenes, the extra fights, the extra arts that you can use in the game. But I'm talking about just on a technicality kind of thing. The GameCube version is probably the superior version as far as how well it runs, but I'd say the PS2 version, you know, what with like the voiced skits and the extra content, they both have their pros and cons. That's the way I see things. There's Martel right there. As far as my view on the game, like I said, I found it fun to play, you know, just by, you know, pure amazement. I had never even played an RPG like that, where it blended the usual RPG tropes with action so well. I really thought that was really cool. Like, I was a little impressed just by how well it was done. I mean, yes, other Tales games do it better, and older ones make it feel even more like an RPG, but, you know, for a first time playing a Tales game, it was pretty good. You know? That's just the way I see things. Japanese voiceover without subtitles. Lloyd Irving, Katsuyuki Konishi, and all the English fans like, Brian Beacock sucks, Scott Minville on the way. Okay, half of you, not to go on a little rant, but half of you only liked Scott Minville because it was Robin. I seriously, in fact, I even seriously doubt that there are that many people who didn't even know who he was beforehand. Surely you had at least seen Teen Titans. I mean, granted, he didn't do that much before, but, you know, he's been kind of in the animation scene for a while. Yeah, this one, Symphonia had a pretty big English dub with several celebrities, the major one being Shiloh Strong. Yes, right, fanboys, not Scott Minville. Shiloh Strong, who is Ryder Strong's brother. So he's probably the only real celebrity there. But, yeah. Oh, and quick note, I might try to fix the video issues, so I'm just gonna say it might look better and it might not, because if I can't manage to get it fixed, I'm just gonna play this and I'm not even gonna edit it. That's not really the point of these videos. But yeah, so it had a pretty big cast. Why they didn't voice the skits, I have no idea. Some people even argue that the release was funded by Nintendo, and this was actually the first Tales game to come out in Europe. So it was released worldwide, and it sold very well. Gee, I wonder what they're gonna name it, Yggdrasil. Or Yggdrasil. Nifty little animation thingy. Saw the Tails games are done. Lloyd's all like, fuck you guys, I'm gonna beat you up, you know?